So the person who made BNS Yast, which is lead, he ended up making a reward viewers for Blade and Soul. So right now, you actually have the ability to see the complete loot drop table for Blade and Soul. If you search in either the raid name or the boss name, you can see the exact drop table. So you can search Bailey, which is the boss for Bad Bug Raid, or you can search Bad Bug Raid, and it'll show you everything from your personal loot to your group loot. Personal loot, as the name implies, is the loot you get on your own boxes, and you can see that there is a fixed reward. So you get a guaranteed green chest every run, with an additional 60% chance to get another chest, with an additional 20% chance to get an transformation on top, with another 6% chance to get one of these two. I think you can only get one of these two, so you cannot get free green chest and then also a blue chest. If you got a blue chest, you cannot get this third green chest, right? And you can also see the group loot. So the group loot is the loot you get for everyone to share to roll on. And you can see for Bad Bug Raid, there is like a couple of random group loot. You have the cart, which is at a 2% drop rate, the blue chest at a 1.27 drop rate, and the purple chest, which is at a 0.55 drop rate. And I think that you can only get one of these as well. So if you see the card drop, the purple chest will not drop. And likewise, if you see a blue chest drop, the purple chest will not drop. So that's something like that. So this is a really good tool. Now you have a complete loot table to gauge what dungeon drop what and where you should be farming. Now this also works with the latest KR patch. So you can actually change the region to Korea, and you can select their latest patch on April 23. And you can search up their newest dungeon, which is Shadow More. And you can see that this is what their latest dungeon drop rate is. No more green chests at all. And instead, you just don't get any skill books. Very cool, NC Soft. They did up the blue chest rate on this one. And you can actually get legendary chests from the dungeon itself. But that's something for us to worry about later. So with that being said, let's talk about a couple big discovery that might impact how you keep playing the game. Let's start with the hottest topic of all of them, cold storage, which is the biggest checkpoint. It is the dungeon that everyone is trying to reach, and even if you can reach it, it's a dungeon people are actively farming. Cold storage first boss has a guarantee portrait chest for everyone. That is really nice because most mini boss don't drop anything, but it doesn't really have real group loot. The loot, of course, comes from the actual second boss, which is Winter Main. So cold storage drop guarantee 2 green book chests versus only guarantee 1 in Bug Dungeon. It has 1 Homewood Essence, 8% chance drop, which is actually pretty good. If you don't know what Homewood Essence does, it basically lets you re-roll the line on either Legendary Gear or Purple Soul Shield. So if you look at your Purple Soul Shield, you can actually reset the line to a crit. So if you got like a crit rate garbage one, you can actually reset the second line to get a double crit. So Homewood Essence is a really good drop. So this is really good. Otherwise, you also get a guaranteed Moonwater portrait chest, which is really good to start working toward your bond, and another portrait chest right here. So you have another guaranteed chest. It'll be a random either between the Cinderland one and another Moonwater, but in total you get about 4 guaranteed portrait chests every single run. 1 from the first boss, 1 right here, and 2 more right here, which is really big. And of course you have the other chest drop rate. So you can actually get a personal Blue Book chest at a 1.2%. And finally, you have a 40% chance to get a belt. Overall, the cold storage loot is not bad. It is not the greatest, but it's definitely a big upgrade from BBR, getting guaranteed 2 green chests instead of 1.5. But of course, most importantly, is that it guarantees you a bunch of cards. So that's really good to start working toward your card set. You can start fusing a bunch of cards together, or most importantly, you just get a lot higher chance of hitting blue card, like all of these random ones, so you can fuse into purple. And of course, if you're looking for blue card to fuse right now, you can also just spin the wheel. Group loot wise, you get the outfits, random portrait chest, and they have the same exact probability of dropping either a group blue chest or purple chest or the card, right? So if you look at this probability, which I want you guys to remember right now, this is the same across all the dungeon. When it comes down to like Bad Bug, you have the exact same probability of getting the card, the blue chest, and the purple chest. It's always 2%, 1.72%, and then 0.55%. The biggest takeaway from here, in my opinion, is that cold storage is actually not really worth farming unless you're chasing for either the Homewood Essence to upgrade your Blushy Harbor stuff later, or the Portrait Chest if you want cards somehow. The reason why I say this is because the DPS requirement is significantly higher, and it's very likely that if you have a group that can do cold storage, you can duo or maybe even solo Bad Bug Ray. I'm getting very close to the point where I can solo Bad Bug Ray, and the ability to solo Bad Bug Ray mean that you can get all of these group drop to yourself. Most importantly, chasing for that purple chest, chasing for that card to fuse into other card is very, very big. You guys might have heard people saying like, oh, in Korea, they still only find Bad Bug Ray. There is a potential reason, the reason why that is the case is because Bad Bug Ray is soloable. I personally would rather chase for it to solo a purple chest than to split up how many loot there is in cold storage. So that is the thing. If you actually look at the Korea Bad Bug Ray dungeon, it actually got nerfed for that reason. Because people are doing Bad Bug Ray still on Korea, they end up nerfing the loot on Korea for the skill book chest. The purple skill book chest in Bad Bug Ray is now a 0.11%, and the blue chest is on 0.5% chance. I'm so glad we didn't somehow just magically get this change, because for some reason, the dungeon in the NA version often have Korea loot drop table. So imagine if we got this Bad Bug Ray in our version. Yeah, nice try. Let's just quit the game. Alright, with that being said, let's talk about Poharan. The reason why we have Poharan is because our Poharan already dropped Ascent Stone and Homewood Essence, and these two drop is not something that they introduce until way later. So we can see I'm still on the Korea patch on the bottom right, but if I switch back to America or EU, if I search Poharan again, you can see that these drop is already introduced in our version. And once again, if you hover over the dungeon tooltips, you can see them as well. So these are new drop-ish kind of that were introduced into our dungeon. Let's look at the Poharan dungeon drop, mostly Vice Admiral Poharan. There's a 5% chance of any given outfit, and within that is split between all the available outfit. So if you're chasing for the Pirate Princess exchange ticket, that is almost very impossible because that is a 0.5% drop rate, and this is not tradable, so it's not like you can buy it. This is the kind of, I feel kind of sad about this because this is the outfit I know a lot of people really like, but unless you get really lucky to get a drop and then also win it in your group, you won't be able to see this. So this is really, really sad. But with that being said, let's go over the other things that you care about. Green book chest, same drop rate as Bad Bug Ray. Guarantee one chest per run with a chance of getting another chest per run. The same go with the Transformation Stone and the Homewood Essence. You can actually start getting Homewood Essence in Poharan already, so it's a really nice change. And finally, all the rare item that you can get, the Insignia, potentially a green chest and something like that. And then the legendary drop is actually a 2% drop rate. So this we know that the legendary drop is actually a 2% drop rate from here on. And then of course the card. The card here is actually a 1% chance drop rate compared to the other dungeon which has a 2% drop rate. It's a little weird. Every other dungeon, as far as I'm aware, has a 2% drop rate for the card. Hey Wujin, if you look, has a 2% drop rate. The Blushy Harbor Blood Main has a 2% drop rate. For some reason, it's only the Poharan card that has a 1% drop rate. The Chef Tay is a 2%, but okay. With this being said, at the current moment, I actually think Poharan is significantly more valuable to farm for the potential of getting a rare drop than cold storage. Of course, the thing with Poharan is that because it is so much easier to do than cold storage, if you have a friend, if you have a good group, you can duo or even trio it and just split all the loot among yourself. 50 chance at getting a Poharan Psych is actually pretty good because these go for 100 N coin every single time. And so being able to split this with 2 of your friends or even just 1 of your friends is a lot of potential money to be made. On top of that, you don't really lose out on the other drop, like you don't get guaranteed 2 green chests from cold storage, but who gives a shit about green chests, right? We're going for the other things. You still get Homewood Essence, but you also get Transformation Stones, and they sell for really nice, so that's really good. And you still get all the other juicy stuff that are like a chase item, like the chest is still the same chance for your purple chest. You get these stuff, the Ascension Stone, the Homewood Essence. You get the same chance of getting a personal like blue chest. The drop table between cold storage and Poharan is not really that different. Except Poharan has a lot more chase item. If you get a good legendary item, they sell for a lot still. If you go look at the legendary Poharan earring, for example, and I search something like a crit rate, crit damage, if you get really lucky, it still go for a lot potentially. Even if you just get one line, it's still worth a good chunk. And I feel like if you're trying to make money, if you're trying to farm optimally, Poharan honestly is still the place to farm. Chef Tay follow a similar pattern, except I think the Poharan card is worth a lot more than the Chef Tay card because it's used in multiple really good sets, such as the Life Drake set that is really good. And of course, the Poharan outfit is worth significantly more. I think something like the Gangplank hairstyle is still worth like 3k maybe. It's a hair adornment. Like 3k. So Poharan just have really good values to farm. Once again, especially if you can do it in duos or trio instead of doing 6-man to split with pugs, really recommended. And maybe even solo. Honestly, there's a high chance that you can solo Poharan before you're able to beat Blushade Harbor. And that's how I feel right now. I feel like I'm getting really close to be able to solo Poharan, but I'm like really far from being able to do Blushade Harbor just because my level is not strong enough. Speaking of Blushade Harbor, let's take a look. Blushade Harbor Part 1. So Blushade Harbor Part 1 gives you 2 guaranteed green chests following the suit from Cold Storage, and it's going to be like this beyond. And has a 65% chance of dropping Soul Shield, which is actually pretty good, especially since the Soul Shield is dismantleable into Wood Fragment, so that will increase your supply on the Wood Fragment a lot. Otherwise, the loot is mostly the same. You do get pirate gloves instead of the respective dungeon gear. The chest drop rate for your other rare loot is the exact same as every other dungeon. And the same kind of go with the group loot. You have a chance of getting a Soul Shield chest. You have the outfit, the Hey Wujin Psych, and then of course the rare item at a 0.55 for your purple chest. Following similar suit, you have Hey Wujin. Hey Wujin have the same drop as training base, with the exception of that, you guarantee 100% Soul Shield instead of the 65% Soul Shield from the training base. So you guarantee at least a Soul Shield drop every single run, which again is really good to build on your gear to dismantle for Wood Fragment. But otherwise, the loot table is almost the exact same. You have the 2% chance for your legendary bracelet, again the dungeon respective gear, and then you have a slightly higher chance of getting the group Blush Shield, or the group sellable Soul Shield. And of course the outfit and stuff like that. With that being said, interpret the data however you want. The website will be in the description link. But honestly, personally, I feel like the biggest takeaway is that the drop from Blushade Harbor is not like significantly better than Poharan. So if you're one of those casual players, in my opinion, there is no rush to get to Blushade Harbor because your drop in Poharan is honestly just as good. Or just as shit because you only get like 1 to 2 green chests anyway. But the chase item in all of these dungeons honestly are relatively the same. Obviously, Blushade Harbor chase item is worth more because there has been less time to accumulate those items on the market. But chase item in Poharan items, like again, legendary earring, legendary ring, cards and stuff, is still a very good price. And so there is no panic to rush at Blushade Harbor. It's my final word for you guys in this video. So with that being said, as always, subscribe, just play the game at your own pace, enjoy the game while it lasts anyway. So with that being said, bye bye.